Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Upper Tier Podcast, the football and pro wrestling podcast we bring you each and every week. If you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button and drop a like on the video, we would really appreciate that, as always. Let me know if we're all good here as well, folks, audio-wise and stuff like that. I was doing a bit of cleaning around the place today because I have a busted knee. So I was in A&E. Well, I was in the Swift Care Clinic yesterday getting my knee sorted out. So I'm in a brace here and I'm on anti-inflammatories. That's why we're coming to you a day late on the show. It should have been yesterday evening, but I just couldn't do it. So I said I'd do it this evening. So if you are listening, if you are tuned in or anything like that, let me know if the audio and everything is all good. We've got a good show for you tonight. Plenty to get through. We'll do a recap of NXT Deadline. We'll do a quick look back at Raw, which seemed pretty good. We've got updated cards for Saturday night's main event. We got the updated brackets for the US and IC belt. What's the crack, Daz? How are you, my friend? Daz, just let me know if the sound and everything is all good, will you? Because I moved a few things around today, just double checking on it. Let me know if you can hear me fine. We got some ranking there. Cheers, Christopher. Appreciate it. Cheers, bud. Thank you. Really, really appreciate that, my friend. Good to have you on board. Welcome to the community. We'll also take a look back. Something I like to do at this time of year as well is take a look back at some of the bigger names in wrestling that we lost in the year as the year kind of rounds out, kind of in memorandum and stuff like that. Cheers, Daz. You're an absolute legend. Thanks for that, Paul. But we want to take a look back at that as well, and of course a few other bits. And we have our usual round of history as well, and we got some cool notable birthdays in there as well. There's quite a list this week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All of them legends in their own right. So we'll kick off. We'll take a look back at NXT Deadline. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What did you think of this event? How did you feel about it and stuff like that? I have to say the women are owning that show at the moment, aren't they? They really are owning NXT at the minute. If you see me shuffling around, folks, as well, it's just the knee. It's just it's killing me at the moment. The pain is unnatural. So I'm on anti-inflammatories and all sorts of painkillers and stuff for it and everything. So just in case you see me shuffling around. But I thought really, really good. I liked that. There was a lot to like in this and stuff like that and all. I thought Trick Williams defeating Ridge Holland by pinfall to retain, I thought was a very, very good match. I really liked the Women's Championship Contenders match, the Iron Survivor Challenge. Guila coming out on top. But I have to say, the more I see Sol Ruka and these girls down there, Stephanie Fakura and all, absolutely sensational. 1 to 10 or whatever it is, all down there, absolutely pulling it out. Lola Voice defeating Jada Parker as well by referee stoppage. Really, really cool. And of course, Obafemi defeating Wes Lee, Javon Evans, Ethan Page, Nathan Frazier to become the #1 contender. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that as well, what Obafemi's going to bring to the table. Absolutely a sensational star in the making down there and in his own right. But NXT again, pushing the board out again, an absolute solid show, fantastic from top to bottom. Rarely let you down, and you're beginning to feel like the way they're building momentum here and stuff like that. It's like those takeover days, isn't it? Really, really exciting at the moment. So let us know your thoughts on it. Really, really cool. Let us know what you liked about it. If you've seen a Sol Ruka, what an athlete. But absolutely phenomenal. Right, let's take a look at Raw and get your thoughts on Raw. What did you think of Raw? Judgment Day, of course, brutalizing Gunther. And what's the WWE transfer, Niall? What do you mean, Daz? What's the WWE transfer, Niall? I'm not too sure what that is. I'm not too sure at the moment that is. Let me know, Daz. I might have missed it. But we have the Judgment Day, first of all, brutalizing Gunther and Damian Priest, and of course leading to a match being made for this weekend's Saturday night's main event. What a throwback and stuff like that. And of course, Jesse the Body Ventura returning to color commentary is going to be real nostalgia, isn't it? I'm pretty pumped for that. That's teleporting me, guys, way back, way back. But it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. But we got a triple threat: Gunther, Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. So we'll get your thoughts, we'll get your predictions when we get into Saturday night's main event. What do you think is going to happen? Because we've got to talk about Cody and H sort of hinting at that winged eagle belt. Can you imagine? We had the final testament and Miz defeating the Wyatt Six. Women's World Champion Liv Morgan defeating Dakota Kai. Seth freaking Rollins called CM Punk a fraud. Like football. You have me lost as what's the WWE transfer? You mean like you mean the draft lottery? You mean the draft lottery thing they do between Raw and SmackDown? Okay, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the draft lottery. Does. We had Drew McIntyre coming back and absolutely clobbering to bits Sami Zayn, absolutely taking him out. One that I did pick for that Intercontinental title tournament, if you remember as well. Lyra Valkyrie defeating Selena Vega and Ivy Niall in the triple threat match. And I did call that Lyra Valkyrie might win this. So when we go look at the slide in a few minutes, we'll try to pick who's going to be the fourth winner and where do we think it's going to go. Very, very interesting at the moment there, Daphne. The New Day trying to explaining themselves. The crowd was having absolutely none of it. And rightly so. The crowd on Big E's side. I still think there's a twist coming in this. I don't think this is simply going to be the two boys versus Big E. I don't think that's the way this war is going to go. There's definitely a twist in there somewhere. I'm still looking at some of those, some of that body language and some of those facials that Xavier's doing, and I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced at all. Andrew's in. Big up, Andrew. Yeah, no, I can't wait for Saturday. Yeah, it's going to be class, isn't it? And Ryan's in. Ryan, don't forget, we're back at 9 as well, Ryan, for the football show. We're going to be talking, actually. I actually have Wolves in one of my bets, Ryan, as well. I'll go through it with you later on. 9 o'clock, we'll be back for the football show with Darren. So don't miss out on that, folks, either. And then we rounded it out with Rhea Ripley defeating Raquel Rodriguez in an anything goes match, and anything did go. We had Liv Morgan coming out, giving it socks and stuff like that, and the match rounding out, the show rounding out with Rhea Ripley and Io Sky standing in the middle of the ring holding the belt. So there you go. So that's the way Raw rounded out. And I have to say, it was a decent Raw. I did enjoy it, and it felt like a proper go-home Raw, didn't it, for a big show? Because we know this 2-hour adjustment, there's kind of been issues there and trying to get it to knit together and stuff like that. But they squeezed quite a bit into this one. Big up, Brian. Love it. Can't wait for it, mate. Can't wait for it. We'll have the crack at 9. But yeah, they certainly squeezed a lot into it, and it was a really, really, really good show. Right, let's go through the brackets, and we'll start with the US one. So here we are. These are our 4 that have gone through. So we have Bailey, we have Chelsea Green, we have Tiffany Stratton, and we have Meechin. So who do we think is going to be in the final? Are we looking at a Tiffany Stratton, and are we looking at a Chelsea Green? Is that our thinking at the moment? I think people were nailed onto Chelsea Green last week when we spoke about it. Yeah. So what's your thinking? YouTube channel for Saturday night main event. It's going out on YouTube as well, is it? I got Bailey versus Meechin. Christopher, Bailey versus Meechin. Interesting. Now, I'm going the opposite, Christopher. I'm going Chelsea Green versus Tiffany Stratton. That's who I'm thinking in the final. But let us know your thoughts. Do you think when Luchas come to WWE, they could help Ray? Do you know something? I think with the way the tag division has gone, I think they might want to just put them out there and just, keep them away from that situation for the moment. I don't think so. I think they'll want them to stand on their own and stuff like that. Can't wait for them to be in there, though. It's going to be really, really exciting. I want to see them versus the guns, don't we? Them versus the machine guns and stuff would be pretty cool. But yeah, I'm thinking Chelsea Green versus Tiffany Stratton, but I think Chelsea's going to get the win. I don't think she's going to beat Bailey. I know, and see, that's what we expect. That's what a lot of people are expecting, but this is what WWE do. They take your expectation and they flip it. So I don't know. Chelsea Green has been spoke about for this belt since they kind of announced it. So it's hard to go away from her, isn't it, really, at this stage and stuff like that? Could we have this outside interference by Piper Nevin as well? Let's see what happens there. Does Tiffany Stratton win the belt? Probably not, while still holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. I wouldn't have thought so. Because otherwise we find ourselves, if she cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase as US champion, she probably have to relinquish the US belt, and then we're back into another kind of tournament type thing. Big up, Baz. Good seeing you, my friend. Hope you're all good. Was chatting to you earlier, my friend. Yeah, but folks, let us know. Who do you think? Who's going to be the finalists? Bailey, Meechan, Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green. Who could it be? Who could it be? Going to be interesting. Let's have a look at the IC one. Our own girl, Lyra Valkyrie, coming through against Selena Vega and Ivy Nile. Big win for Lyra Valkyrie. We already know Dakota Kai is through as well. So we're waiting to see the finals of the brackets down below. See how they go. I haven't seen anything. What are you predicting in this one, folks? What are you thinking? Bailey versus Tiffany Stratton. It's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout at all. Not a bad shout at all, Christopher. What are we thinking on this one? Who are we thinking from the bottom brackets? Zoe Stark, Raquel Rodriguez, Kaden Carter. Probably Raquel Rodriguez, yeah? I would think. Although Zoe could go in there, especially with Shayna coming out. They kind of have that Shayna Zoe tandem at times, don't they? And on the other side, I think it's going to be Natalya. I have a funny feeling about this going to be Natalya, and I have a funny feeling that Natalya could potentially go all the way. I think this could be, one final tipping of the hat to Natalya as the first ever women's IC champion. I don't think she'll have it for very long. She might drop it at the Rumble, or she might drop it slightly after. I don't think it'll be a long reign. But I don't know. There's something when I look down at Natalya there at the bottom coming through. I think if she comes through, I think she could be the one to be, that historical side of thing, to be the first ever women's IC champion. Could that be the case? Christopher back in again. Lyra always goes to the finals of tournaments and loses. Yes, that's true. Interesting. And they're very high up on Lyra as well. If you look at Lyra since she's come up onto the main roster, she's been involved in a lot of really, really good stuff as well. So maybe it could be her time. Maybe they go that way. But I just think on this one, the IC belt, whatever about your feelings on the US belt, I think on this one potentially, because it's the IC belt and there's so much history around that whole intercontinental situation, if you like. And because it's a women's one, and they want these belts to come in and be really, really meaningful, not just be belts for the sake of it, because they felt they needed to pad out the women's mid-card there with some titles and stuff. They want this to be quite meaningful as an intercontinental belt. So I think you have to start it off with something of the stature of a Natalya, don't you? I think anyway. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but we will find out pretty quick anyway. But I wouldn't be at all upset. Natalya, unbelievable. What a wrestler. What a wrestler. What we got to look at? Saturday night's main event. Let's have a look at Saturday night's main event. We're going to be having a chat as well. WWE Vault looks good on YouTube. Classic match. It does that. As I said it a few months ago, I watched one there. The Road Warriors and all were on. It was really, really good. That channel is excellent if you want to have real good throwback stuff and all. Really, really good. Really good. Saturday night's main event shaping up to be something pretty good, doesn't it? And there might be even more added to this. Let's see what happens. Are they going to round it out with maybe 5 or 6 matches? I know Roman isn't on it yet and stuff like that. Is there going to be a space for that? And I presume they're going to round out. Are they going to run the US title final on this? Is that going on this? I don't know. I'm not too sure. But we got Cody versus Kevin Owens. Potential winged eagle belt incoming, folks. How do we feel about that? Should be pretty cool, Let us know your picks. What are your picks, first of all? What's your predictions for Saturday night's main event? Who are you going with here? Surely it's probably going to be Cody to retain, isn't it? Imagine if Kevin Owens won the belt at Saturday night's main event. Wow. That would set the pulses going, wouldn't it? That would set the dirt sheets off something crazy. We've got Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. Did we see Io Sky taking the belt? Did we see a little piece of that the other night in the ring? Is Io Sky going to become champion, and are we going to go Io Sky, Rhea Ripley to Mania? Or are we going to continue on the Liv Morgan train? Let us know in the comments. What's your predictions for Saturday night's main event? We got the triple threat: Damian Priest, Gunther, and Finn Balor. Can the Demon, can our boy from Wicklow, the Demon, take the World Heavyweight belt? Certainly the tag titles need to be kind of run out at this stage, don't they? There's been very little activity on the tag side of things at all. So maybe let me know your thoughts on that as well. For me here, Gunther probably retains, doesn't he? I would imagine. But who knows? They're going to have to throw something on there, aren't they? There's going to have to be something that's going to happen, isn't it? Maybe they've something else planned, but something big has to happen on it and stuff like that. And you got to get Jesse Ventura on commentary. The Hulkster's returning as well. It's going to be absolutely electric. So let us know your thoughts. And then we got Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn. Surely Drew McIntyre just continues this on after coming back. Daz, let's see what Daz is going for. Daz is going for Cody to retain, Liv to retain, Gunther to retain, and Drew to beat Sami. Yeah, I'm pretty much on it there with you. But they have to throw something in, don't they? There has to be something in, or a return or something. Obviously, Hogan's coming back and stuff like that, which would be pretty cool to see. And Hogan coming back and Jesse on commentary. I tell you, after the revelations of what came out there and all that kind of stuff with the whole union thing and all and stuff like that, it'd be interesting to see how that goes. Wanted to get your thoughts as well on this, folks. What was your thinking on this? This came out the other day. WWE ranks the top 10 rivalries of 2024. Do you agree or do you disagree? Or is there a rivalry they've let off that they should have put in? But let us know your thoughts. 2024. So we got CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. The culmination of that in the cage was just absolutely fantastic. You got the OG Bloodline versus the new Bloodline, which has come in quite late to 2024, of course. So yeah, coming in there at number 2. Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. Probably the storyline that people are saying has nearly ran its course at this stage. It's maybe gone on a bit too long, but again, let us know your thoughts. Cody Rhodes versus The Rock. It's kind of, again, another one that was reasonably short-lived in terms of the year of 2024. Sami Zayn versus Gunther. Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. LA Knight Logan Paul. Bailey versus Damage Control. Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes. And we got Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed. And of course, we want to wish Bronson Reed a speedy recovery. He went in, had his surgery there, I think, yesterday. He was posting pictures from the hospital bed and stuff like that. He's a mountain of a man, isn't he? Don't know if you've seen those pictures on Twitter of him in the bed with post-surgery, I think it was. That guy is a monster of a man, taking up the whole bed. And it didn't look like a normal hospital bed. It looked like a double one. He's a big dude. But let us know, yeah, what is your top, what was the top rivalry this year, 2024? Let us know your thoughts on that as well. I think Punk Drew was probably the likely one to go for, isn't it? And you see, this is what we're saying about, when we spoke about Cody's, when we spoke about Cody's title run, and we've spoke about it a couple of times in the podcast, saying it's kind of just box ticking, opponent. There's no real rivalry and stuff like that and all. And this you can see here, so they're going back to Cody versus The Rock as being the rivalry, all that build right till WrestleMania and stuff like that. Since Cody's become champion, I think with the exception of probably AJ Styles, everything else has kind of nearly been a one-off situation, hasn't it, more or less? So let me know your thoughts on that as well. Cody Rhodes versus The Rock, the rivalry. Yeah. The other one, of course, is the tag teams. PWI Tag Team 100. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill coming out at number 1. Let me know your thoughts on that. The Bucks down in 4. As you go down through the Bloodline at 8. FTR at 10. Imagine that, FTR at 10. Yeah, Damage Control are now faces in WWE, yeah. Isn't it mad to think of, yeah. It's mad the way they flip things, isn't it? Crazy. Crazy, crazy stuff. Yeah, but let us know your thoughts. How do you feel about that? Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, top spot in this year's PWI tag teams. Seems a bit kind of left field a little bit, doesn't it? Let me know your thoughts. This is what has come out. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill at 1, and you got the Bloodline at 8, and you got FTR at 10. I don't know. That just seems. I suppose when you say the Bloodline, it's kind of weird as well because they don't really function as a tag team, do they? They're more a kind of a faction than a tag team, you know. I agree with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill at number 1. Yeah, probably because they've been a tag team, they've defended the belts, you know. They look like a kind of a, you know, they've come together. They're not kind of thrown together and stuff like that. It's probably not a bad shout. But I wonder blindly if you were asked what's your tag team of the year, would you have put Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill in there at number 1? Interesting to get your thoughts as always. I did say I wanted to have a look back at wrestlers we've lost this year. And look, I only picked a selection as well because obviously the ones that jump out and hit us, there's plenty more in there that we've discussed throughout the year. These are kind of not the big ones, if you know what I mean, because anytime a wrestler passes away, it's a big deal. But these were the kind of ones that kind of, you know, run our mind and stuff like that, you know. So 2024, these are some of the big ones that we lost. Because we lost Virgil, synonymous with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. We lost Ole Anderson. We lost John Klinger there, and Bob Bones. You would know him on the European scene stuff. I've seen him wrestle many a time, and these Irish waters and stuff like that. Phenomenal shape and a very, very good wrestler. I've seen him wrestle actually Raven in a big match in Tala, which was absolutely crazy. We still don't know who attacked Jade Cargill. Who do you think it was? I think Bianca Belair is nailed on for that. So that whole situation implodes properly. I think it has to be Bianca Belair. I know they ran a poll on it the other day. And I think Bianca came out on top, as far as I know. We also don't know. Do we know yet what this favor is? What's this CM Punk favor coming down the line as well? But we shall continue on unless someone has heard anything. I'm waiting to catch up on it, Daz. That's why I didn't talk about it. I didn't get a chance to see it because I literally, if you look at my week this week, what happened was I went to bed on Tuesday night. I got no sleep all Tuesday night, and Wednesday I woke up, this knee was blown out. I don't know what happened. I had to go get x-rays and everything yesterday, and also I haven't seen any of it, so I'm going to catch up on it. I heard it was decent, was it? Let me know your thoughts. Was it decent? I didn't see that either. I didn't see it, so yeah, I'm not too sure. I think it's Bianca Belair, Naomi, or Bailey. Yeah, it's one of those three definitely, but I'm leaning. I think most people are leaning towards Bianca Belair to break up. I don't know. We're still waiting to see. I know they were trying to pin it on Rollins, weren't they? So I doubt it was Rollins. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. Yeah, so we also lost Afa and Sika, of course, the Wild Samoans. Lost them, funny enough, within a couple of weeks of each other as well, which was kind of strange. Because we had only gotten, I think Sika who passed away first. And then we lost Afa, or maybe it was the other way around, but we lost them. I think they passed away. Was it within 6 weeks, 2 months of each other or something like that? It was Drew McIntyre. You reckon it was Drew McIntyre, was it? Interesting. Drew McIntyre did it. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, because he took out Sammy as well, because Sammy was calling it out, wasn't he? Yeah. Could be spot on there. Christopher. Yeah. Absolutely. And then, of course, down the bottom, Sid Justice, Psycho Sid. Of course, Sid himself sadly passed away, which was a strange one as well, because I think only a few weeks earlier he was doing like meet and greets, and he was doing the circuit and stuff like that, and then suddenly we heard he wasn't well and he was gone. And of course, Kevin Sullivan, which was very sad as well. I met Kevin Sullivan at WrestleCon. when we were in Dallas, and I got to talk to him and stuff like that. And I was very interesting guy to talk to and stuff like that. And of course, all the other stuff that surrounds Kevin Sullivan and the other thing and all that. And, so very interesting. But these were kind of some of the main ones that we lost, all of which I got to see wrestle, of course. And yeah, sad that Bad Bones had passed away as well, because I don't think he was that old either. I think Bad Bones was in his 40s, was he? So young enough. So there you go. That's some that we lost this year. So we said we'd take a look back. We do it every year. And we just pick out a selection, stuff like that. Like there's tons of other ones that passed away and stuff like that. And of course, we always remember those guys and gals as well. Right. Let's take a little bit of history, will we? Take a little bit of history, and then we'll do some notable birthdays, and then we'll get you out of here in time then for the Europa League, if you like. Right, so we start off with our history this week, and I've brought a little bit in, a kind of a mixture and stuff like that as well. So 2001, WWE Vengeance took place at the San Diego Sports Arena in San Diego, California. This was the night that WWE merged their world title and the WCW World Heavyweight Championship by means of a mini tournament. And of course, we know Chris Jericho was the man that night, wasn't he? Which wasn't necessarily expected at the time. Yeah, big shout out. Yeah, Sika died on June 25th and Nafa died August 16th. Yeah, within 2 months of each other, roughly, It was mad, crazy, hard to believe, isn't it? Hard to believe. Big up, Christopher, appreciate that. Yeah, so Chris Jericho, the first kind of undisputed champion, stuff like that, and didn't have an easy path either. Had to get through some legends there, Austin and all, and Rock and everything and all. So Triple H was in there as well. 2008, Lisa Marie Varon, aka Victoria, in WWE, announced her retirement from WWE. In 2009, she signed for TNA Wrestling, where she stayed until 2013. What a competitor Victoria was. Absolutely unbelievable. And that Victoria character in TNA was really, really cool. That kind of biker chick with the spider and all that kind of stuff was really, really cool. 2013, a special edition of Raw played host to the annual Slammy Awards. Daniel Bryan picked up Superstar of the Year award, and the Match of the Year honors went to John Cena's defeat of The Rock at WrestleMania 29. That was the Slammies from 2013. 2017, the Z-Man Tom Zink died at the age of 59. Of course, if you're old enough to remember, I remember Tom Zink in the WWE. He was tag team partners with Rick Martel in a team called the Can-Am Connection. There was a massive falling out there with WWE, headed off to WCW, and that's when Tito Santana stepped in with Rick Martel, and of course they formed Strike Force. There you go, and the rest is history. 1972, folks, is the year I was born. Ric Flair makes his professional wrestling debut in Rice Lake, Wisconsin. Flair wrestles George Gadaski to a time limit draw. Imagine Ric Flair made his debut the year I was born, and it's only up to a few years ago he was still wrestling. It's crazy to think it, isn't it? Mad, what a career. 2007, WWE presented a special 15th anniversary edition of Raw in Bridgeport, Connecticut. A number of famous names such as Steve Austin and Eric Bischoff made cameos. The only title change on the night saw Cody Rhodes and Hardcore Holly defeat Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch to win the WWE Tag Team Championships. 15th anniversary of Raw, 2007. And nearly 20 years ago. Crazy. It feels so close still, even though it's 20 years ago nearly. 2020. This is a close one for me. This is close to my heart. Tiny Zeus Lister was found dead at his Marina del Rey, California home at the age of 62. Lister starred opposite Hulk Hogan as the villain Zeus in the movie No Holds Barred, and of course, fame for Friday as well, Debo. And I was due the COVID year. I had booked in to meet Zeus at WrestleCon, and it was called off because of COVID, and I never got to meet him. And I have a Funko Pop here, a Zeus Pop. It's not Zeus, it's Tiny Lister. Sorry, it's Debo, because it's part of the trade that I have from Friday, and I was going to get him to sign it, but I had to get him custom made because Funko hadn't done one. So unfortunately, I didn't get it signed because he sadly passed away. I'm still trying to get my hands on the No Holds Barred, the figure set him and Hogan. They did have one in the Orlando shop last time I was there. I'm heading over there quite soon. Might hit them up again and see do they still have it, and I might take it off their hands. I love all that historical kind of stuff. No Holds Barred, what a movie. Mad. I remember clearly the build up to it. It's on the weekly shows and stuff like that, and Zeus coming in, and what a deal he was, 1989, Andre the Giant won the last title of his illustrious career as he and Haku, shout out to Haku, the Colossal Connection, beat Demolition in Huntsville, Alabama to win the WWF Tag Team Championship. When I think about that match there, I've met both guys, Demolition. I met them last time I was in Dallas. And I met Haku. I was sitting beside Haku at WrestleMania 24. Absolute gentleman. I know the stories of him being crazy and up there and stuff like that now, but on the night, an absolute gentleman. Was born June the 2nd, 1988. There you go. 1988, I was doing my, what people refer to now as their junior cert. It would be in the inter cert then. 1988, I would have been, 16? There we go. 2010, the annual Slammy Awards took place on Raw. John Cena took home the award for Superstar of the Year. That rounds out your history, folks. Nice and short this week. We do have some notable birthdays, though, to get through. So we'll pump through them pretty quickly, if you like. Of course, our Olympic champion and Euro Olympic champion, who won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck, 1968, Kurt Angle celebrates his birthday this week. And there's been loads of different stuff on Twitter and all about it this week. Pretty cool, to be honest. JTG, 1984, one half of Crime Time. Sadly, Shad Gaspar passed away, drowned, remember there a few years back and stuff like that. Very sad, while trying to save his son. No Chin Music himself, James Ellsworth, 1984. Rey Mysterio, 1974. What a career Rey Mysterio has had, folks. 1981, the lunatic himself, Eddie Kingston, celebrates his birthday this week. Happy birthday to him. And of course, 1966, Ultimo Dragon, the hardcore legend himself, Sabu, 1964. Shout out to Sabu. And a man who I really got into in the 80s and stuff like that as a character and as a gimmick. 1952. You see them on Dark Side of the Ring and stuff like that. JYD, the Junkyard Dog. 1952. That rounds out your notable birthdays for this week. That's everything we kind of have for you this week, unless you have anything else you want to add in the chat that we want to talk about. I think I've gone through everything so far. Yeah, so that's it. Another show in the books. Hope you had enjoyed it, folks. I will be back next week with Pro Wrestling Weekly. We'll do a review of Saturday night's main event and all. Sure to pull on the heartstrings and stuff like that. Pumped to see Hulkster and Jesse Ventura back in there and stuff like that. Interesting to see if there's much interaction. I'm looking forward to see how Jesse commentates, especially when all that stuff came out about the union and stuff like that. It's going to be very interesting. And see how the tournaments and all are progress and all that kind of stuff as we move towards Christmas and then on to Rumble season. And from there, then we push on the road to WrestleMania. It'll be in full effect at that stage. Folks, have a safe weekend as always. It's coming up to Christmas, so always be really careful out there. This is when things happen all the time. And it's a horrible time of year for some people. So just remember as well, while you're going about at Christmas time and you're celebrating and you're enjoying it and you're sharing it with your families and all, don't forget there is people out there who's a real tough time for them at this time of year, and they're not necessarily in the same mode as you. Daz asked me there as well. We'll be doing the boxing. We will be doing a preview as well for Fury Usyk 2. Which I think is going to be a classic as well. So we'll take a look at that as part of the show next week as well. Daz, appreciate that. Thanks for reminding me. So as always, folks, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, drop a like on the video, share the content, continue to comment on it as well. And we will talk to you again real soon. I'll be back if you want to join me at 9 o'clock to talk about football. Thursday Tier Talk, 9 o'clock tonight. Myself and Daz on your screens. We'll have a Premier League preview. We'll be talking about the European action. We'll be talking about the Manchester Derby, which is huge this week, coming up for both teams for obvious reasons. But we'll also be doing Beat the Bookie and all the usual good stuff as well. We'll have the banter over there. So join us 9 o'clock, same channel, Thursday Tier Talk, myself and Dazzler. But for me now, have a safe week, folks, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Cheers.